Hello everyone, this is Nuke, and I'm here to bring you the Creative Any Percent Subnautica speedrun tutorial I've been meaning to do for quite some time. So obviously you go to Creative, try not to move your mouse on this loading screen as it actually, it moves the character and the spawning location for you, but you don't want that. You wait a second or two, maybe until you receive the items before you start the timer. And as soon as you start the timer, you go to the fabricator and build the hatching enzymes. Build them and immediately leave, because you still get the item and you don't have to wait for the whole animation to finish. As soon as you then exit the life pod, you swim down to the floor and build a compartment with a hatch. You then shoot the hatch or the compartment with something and enter. It floods. While it's flooding, you can equip your mobile vehicle bay on any hotkey you want. You can then leave the compartment and try to adjust yourself to the way you want to go. Map knowledge is key here, but also there's a neat trick. So when you exit the life pod, you will always face away from the aurora. So there's no aurora here. I swim down, I go to the other direction, there's the aurora. It's always there. And you want to be at a cave that is in the direction of the aurora, so you can always adjust yourself like that. So when you exit the life pod, swim down, and then build the compartment a little further ahead, but in the same line you were swimming before, and then you leave the compartment, you can always head to the right, and that's most of the time the right direction. So I know that I need to head to the right again. I would reset the spawn as it's not the best, but for showcasing I will still do it. This is the cave you want to be at. In my opinion it works best, but essentially you can go anywhere as long as you can align yourself. The furthest or nearest the cave you can spawn is this rack over here. Any spawn works as soon or as long as you find the cave. So you enter the cave and swim to the ceiling until you can almost look through the ceiling like this. You then look up a little bit and place your mobile vehicle bay like this. This didn't work. If I climb it, I will. Oh, it actually did work. I'm sorry, but it didn't look like it would. I do it again. I swim to the ceiling, I look up a little bit and place it. And most of the time, you then can swim through it. Sometimes like this, it doesn't work. And it doesn't work even if you try multiple times. You just have to redo it. Look up a little bit, place it. And this is beautiful. This is perfect. You can immediately swim through the ceiling. You then take the mobile vehicle bay back and swim down. I use this cave specifically because it aligns with the jellyfish room cave right below it. And this is a perfect alignment to the way you need to go to the primary containment facility. This edge over here lines up perfectly to where you need to go. So you line yourself up with this edge and then look up just a little bit, like this, and then swim forward. It might take up to a minute to get there, but eventually you will be at the primary containment facility. I already told you, you can use any spawn, any cave, any location as long as it has a ceiling where you can use the mobile vehicle bay to skip through. You have to find a consistent way to swim to the primary containment facility yourself, as I'm quite comfortable with that cave and I don't intend to find another spot to use, because you still need to swim all the way and the cave is quite near. So this is a pretty good alignment I had. This is the primary containment facility. Sometimes there's this outer shell, this cube around it. Sometimes it just doesn't spawn in. It doesn't really matter, as long as you can swim down, you can get under it. The only thing, if it doesn't spawn in, you can see the cave you need to go through more easily. So you swim to the cave and you immediately pick up this iron cube. That's it. You have two directions. You can turn to the left or to the right. We turn to the right and leave through here and swim up this edge. There's a second iron cube here and it's necessary to finish the game. You pick it up while swimming over it, so you don't lose your momentum. It saves roughly 2 or 3 seconds. If you lose your momentum, it's not too bad, but it's better if you don't. You then place your iron cube in here and hatch the eggs. You do sand skip. Sand skip is quite easy to do. As long as you have super sea glide, you can pass through the sand quite easily, and then place the iron cube into the pedestal. As you leave through the portal, you need to wait for a little stutter that indicates the loading, like this. This was enough. You then press save, as otherwise you would have to wait for the entire dialogue of the Sea Emperor to finish. You then cure yourself. It's important that you save, otherwise the portal takes up to a minute or a minute and a half, and that is way too slow.
Environment scans indicate the water here is rich with a rare plankton-like life form which depends on the organic detritus.
You then swim into the quarantine enforcement platform, and on this edge, this indicates deep water, this does not. You can place a mobile vehicle bay here, you cannot place it here. So while swimming upwards, try to place your mobile vehicle bay so it swims up in this direction. This is not too good, as you need it to face the other way. As long as you have super sea glide, you can't manipulate the mobile vehicle bay. As soon as you surface here, you can. Just press one of the edges like this until you find yourself in a good position. Like this. This is a good position. Then build the Neptune launch platform. And don't wait. You go to the edge of this wall and press against it and press space. You will always clip through it. You can do it sideways like I always do. You can do it forward like I just did. It doesn't matter. You then follow this route. Try to do it as quick as possible, as time matters here. And time matters always, but especially here. You use this edge over here to swim through. And I'll show it to you now. This rectangle is the sweet spot where you can move through the wall. This one does not work, this one does not work, and this one doesn't work. We need to exit through that also. And you can kind of see the difference here from what works and what doesn't. You then swim over here and deactivate the gun. And then we are going to perform the hardest glitch of the run, which is ceiling skip. Ceiling skip is inconsistent. You should spend some time to try it before you run this category. There's a backup if you find it too hard that loses some time, but not too much. You perform ceiling skip by entering or leaving the room and hitting the ceiling in a certain angle, around this angle. This will cause you to clip through the ceiling. You will have to have maximum upwards momentum by pressing space, while also having maximum forward momentum. And edges over here, this one breaks you, this one breaks you, and if you hit the ceiling before the rectangle, it also breaks your speed. So try to align yourself like this. As you leave, you go around here, you try to stay on the bottom, and that didn't work. Here, let me show you again. Like this, and then press space, and you will clip through the ceiling. I'll show you what to do, and then I'll show you the backup. If you build the rocket more in this direction, swim left. If you build it more in this direction, swim right. I build it more to the left, so I just exit anywhere where the wall is, and I use the fastest route to get to the rocket. I cut the corners and stuff like that. You then use the ladder and immediately rush over here, hold shift and build this thing. So the backup is also not too bad. It loses some time, especially if you perform ceiling skip quick. You can gain a lot of time by skipping the ladder animation. So again, I'll show you the clips through here. You hug the wall, press right in this case, and forward in this case, and just press space. Swim forward. You don't have to go to the bottom here, just swim forward. Turn to the left. And here you start swimming upwards. If you start swimming upwards before, you might end up exiting swimming state. You enter through here, you deactivate the gun, yada yada yada, and then you try at least to attempt ceiling skip. It worked. Okay. Alright, I'm too good at this. Try to attempt ceiling skip. I'm so sorry. Oops, it didn't work. What now? You can see the screen is entirely black, so I know ceiling skip has failed me. So I turn to the right and see this ceiling over here. You can simply cross through it. It has a much larger base you can swim through. And then you swim in this direction. Hold shift because now you're exiting swimming state. And then enter this pool. Try not to swim too much to the bottom, as you will only need to cross the ceiling over here and then swim up to your Neptune platform. You build the rocket, and while the rocket is building, we are going to set up the second hardest glitch, which is the stasis rifle flight. Now, if you're uncomfortable with the stasis rifle, you could just walk, which will cost you a lot of time, or you could attempt to find a piece of metal before entering the cave. Both are slow, so I don't recommend them, but it's up to you. Try to spend some time learning the stasis rifle flight before you attempt to speedrun this category. Yeah. What I did, I dropped it and I aligned it in a straight line in this direction. So I can stand on it and fly upwards. The problem is if it faces this direction or this direction, is that you can't stand on it properly, and when you start flying and in a direction like this, you will always hit this little wall and it will not work. So I finished the rocket. I don't have to wait for it to actually finish building. So I stand on the stasis rifle, try to stand on the hilt, and right click. You are holding the stasis rifle now, and you will only gingerly, only very lightly do this. Alright, I did it a little too safe here. I'll attempt to do it again. I'll drop it over here to have a little easier time showing you without the borders over here. If you're unsure if you can do it, you can also drop it over here, finish the rocket and jump onto it and then set it up. There's always a possibility. So I stand on the hilt, press right click and do this. Alright. As good as the performer glitch worked, this one will not. Alright, I'm going to stand on it and then move my mouse upwards, like this. And then in a very, very long circle, I can move it to there. Aim for the door and right click. You will always land here. And then just open the door, move inside, go to the left. Only psychopaths go to the right. That is actually true. Not a lie and not a story I made up. Then climb the ladder. Also turn to the left. Finish the rocket.
Computer systems active. Life support systems online.
And then you're done. Quite easy to do. A very fun run, a very short run. The glitches that are hard to perform are not necessary to get a decent time. I would say without ceiling skip and without the stasis rifle flight, time under 9 minutes is still possible. But that's something you guys have to figure out. So, good luck, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments or ask in the Subnautica Discord. Have a great day. Goodbye.